Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see, I am back in my car again. I've got my tray here with me, which I literally can't move up. My steering wheel is right here and I had to move my seat up. Oh my god, the back of my car is a disaster. I'm gonna put these tissues right here. Actually, I'm probably gonna need those. Worst weather outside. It's been raining all day. It actually stopped raining now for a bit, but it's just super overcast. So I thought today would be a good day to film another mukbang. I love filming car mukbangs, especially when it's like Q&A style, or I don't know, I just love like sitting and chatting with you guys pretty much. I'm going to be touching my hair a lot. I'm going to try not to. I did the heatless curls on my hair last night and it turned out really good, but I haven't washed my hair in like 4 or 5 days, so it's not really looking the best at the moment. I'm gonna stop babbling on. I'll show you guys what I got. Picked up some Korean corn dogs. I got a mixed one and also one that's just plain cheese. And while I was at home, I also made some hot chicken carbonara tteokbokki and noodles and just mix it all together. That looks so good. I'm so excited to eat that. I've got my chopsticks here with me. It's not gonna be hot anymore because I made this like half an hour ago, but that's fine. It looks so nice and cheesy. Taro milk tea from Gongcha. I love bubble tea. I also have some strawberry mochi here. I opened the packaging because I wanted to lay them out. They're all like individually packaged, so it doesn't really look that cute. Yum. I wish I brought tomato sauce with me. Yum, this is so good. This one's just the cheese. I did ask you guys to send in some questions last night, but I think I'm just going to try a little bit of everything and then I'll get on to the questions. That's spicy. Whoa. Oh, this is spicy, guys. I knew I put too much chili in. I actually don't eat much spicy food anymore, so my spice tolerance has gone down quite a bit. Should have only put in one of the hot sauce packets. I put in like almost 2. Oh, I'm sweating. Guys, I'm sweating already. I'm not even sure how much of that I'm going to be able to eat. I have another bite of this cheese stick to see if that'll make it better. I literally have never gotten this many questions. Like, there is just so many questions. I'm only really going to answer the ones that I haven't really answered before. So I'm going to try and find some good ones because I literally have so many questions. I actually haven't answered this before, but someone said travel bucket list. Obviously, Europe is very up there. I am going in like 8 weeks. But aside from that, I'd say like Bora Bora or Tokyo, which I have kind of already told James already, but I'm going to take him there for his birthday this year as his present. So that's going to be really exciting. Other than that, I'd love to visit Turkey, a few more Asian countries maybe, but I'd say like Europe, Tokyo and Bora Bora are definitely very high on my list. I've been so lucky that I've traveled to so many different places. I have actually done a lot of traveling considering how young I am, and considering I did a lot of it in like the span of 2-3 years is crazy. So I'm very lucky, but yeah, I'd say those 3 places would have to be high on my list. What is your goal in life as a woman? Love you. I'd say the first thing that came into my head, like I didn't even have to think about that, is definitely to be a mum and to have kids. Really excited for that, but I think for now I really just want to enjoy my time with James and travel a little bit more together. I'm definitely not in like any real rush, but that would probably be like my biggest goal in life, you know? I'm scared I'm gonna run out of this. Actually, a few people were kind of saying similar sort of things. So this specific girl said, would you ever consider living in Melbourne? BTW, I love you. And some people were like, would you consider moving to Sydney? Would you ever move overseas? And the short answer is yes, I would consider it, but only really if I had to. I love the Gold Coast, and I think eventually this is where I'd love to raise my kids. But let's just say, for example, if James had to move somewhere for work, then I'd move with him. The really great thing about my job is I can work from anywhere and it's not really an issue. But to be honest, and me and James have had this conversation before, I know it sounds cheesy, but I feel like as long as I'm with him, I'm happy. Have you ever met anyone you thought would really like, but really didn't? And I feel like I kind of have. No one strikes out to me, but I feel like I probably have. I don't think there's anyone that I've ever met that I've had high hopes for, but there's definitely a few people I've met that I feel like aren't as nice as what they portray themselves to be on social media. And actually also there's a lot of like influencers, I hate using the term influencer, but yeah, there's a lot of influencers that I've met that aren't like super polite to other people. And when I'm around new people, I definitely like keep an eye out for that. I really don't like when people are like a little bit rude to like, let's just say like waiters or servers. I really don't like when you meet people and you just know that they are not very nice to people unless those people will add value to their life in some way, or, you know, I don't know, do you guys know what I mean? Like there's just some people that I've met that I feel like are only nice to you if you can do something for them, or if you know, are someone. I wouldn't say there's someone that I was like, oh my god, so excited to meet and then I was disappointed by. But yeah. I want to try this mixed one next. Oh. This one's half hot dog, half cheese. Maybe I should have just got one of these. Oh, someone said, did you or James make the first move when you didn't know each other? Definitely James. Actually, no. What I think happened was I messaged my friend who was still with him and his other friends he was with when I had already left, and I was like, fuck, he's so hot. And he started FaceTiming me off her phone because she obviously showed him the message, which obviously now I'm glad that she did, because I would have definitely never made the first move. But yeah, then the rest is history. I want to have some of the hot dog. I don't like the hot dog one as much. Dream wedding location, I definitely say somewhere in Italy, which I feel like a lot of people say that, but Italy's just so beautiful and I love that whole aesthetic. But yeah, I think it'd be fun to like take just a few family over there and have like a really small wedding and then have like a big engagement party here, which is I think what we'd ideally like to do. But yeah, I reckon Italy would be amazing. Do you ever wish that you weren't known or have a following on Insta? And I don't really think it's like, I don't think that social media affects me that much. Like when people say stuff to me, it doesn't affect me. I don't really get like bombarded or anything when I'm out. I love meeting you guys, and I feel like I get like a good amount of people that come up to me without it being like overwhelming when I'm out in public. I mean, will I feel that way forever? Probably not. I definitely don't want to be on Instagram forever. Like that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. But for now it's fun and I do enjoy it. I love making videos as well, so that's why I continue to do it. Tips on starting my own brand / company. I definitely say just be prepared. A lot more work and effort that has to be put into it that people don't realize, especially in the initial stages. I mean, I think anything is kind of hard, like in the initial stages, to just really get your name out there. Even with social media, like these days, if I were to start from scratch, it would be a lot harder. Be patient, and you know, you will face a lot of challenges. I have faced so many challenges with manufacturers, and to be honest, sometimes it kind of like makes me not as into my brand because it's kind of just a headache. I had a lot of problems with manufacturers. Just say for example you approve a sample and you know that goes into mass production, and then you get everything and it's different to the sample you actually approved, and then the factory can kind of come back and be like, oh well, it's just like 10-15% different, so it's fine. Sorry guys, I just put my phone down because someone parked right next to me and I got embarrassed. I mean my camera. Anyways, as I was saying, the factory can kind of just come back to you and be like, well, it's like only 10-15% different. So, and yeah, it's just really annoying because obviously when you have a brand, like you want everything to be amazing quality and all that kind of thing. You just want everything to run perfect, but it's not going to run perfect all the time, and that's what I've had to learn the hard way. I'm definitely working at it and trying to overcome all those little obstacles, but it's really annoying and it just takes time. I do know that in a few years it will be worth it, and I'll be glad that I started it. It's actually interesting because I feel like I always talk about this, like how I lost so much weight, but I actually haven't really said how. How did you lose weight? You look amazing. And it actually really wasn't intentional at all. So pretty much I did put a little bit of weight on during COVID. I feel like a lot of people are probably on the same boat as me with this one because I was literally just at home in lockdown eating, barely moving. So I obviously inevitably put a little bit of weight on. I kind of started losing it a little bit like over time. You know, I feel like obviously when you start being active again, you will kind of drop a little bit of weight. But I will say I did lose a lot of weight when me and my ex broke up. Not even because I was upset about us breaking up. I think I was just really like, it was just a big step for me to make and like very out of my comfort zone. You know, when you're with someone for 3 years and you spend almost every day with them. Me and him were together from like a couple weeks before I moved out of home, and we basically spent like every night together, and so I was pretty much just like scared of being by myself, like physically in my place 24/7. I don't know, I think also because of like the break-in at my old place, I was like a little bit stressed about that. Even though I was in an apartment building, I still was like a little bit scared. I don't know, you just never know. Anyways, it probably sounds like ridiculous. As well as that, I was just really like, oh my god, like who am I gonna end up with? What if I never find anyone? Pretty much just like lost my appetite for like, I honestly don't think that I still fully have my appetite back now. Like I still definitely eat like a lot of junk food and stuff, but I definitely don't eat as much as I used to. But also I do think that I would just eat a ridiculous amount of food for no reason, even if I'd be full. It was definitely like the breakup that made me lose weight, and it was just losing my appetite and not being able to eat. And if you guys go back and watch my old videos, you would notice, well, like my videos from when we broke up, you'll probably notice that I like always was breaking out, and that's because I wouldn't be eating, and when I would eat it would be like McDonald's, so it just really wasn't good for my gut, and I'd always have like breakouts on my chin. And yeah, it just don't recommend anyone to go down that road. Like as I said, it wasn't intentional at all. It just was like a result of the breakup and me being scared and stressed that I lost my appetite. That's just me being completely open and transparent about that. I love all the sugar on top. Why wouldn't you move in together before marriage? Love you. Remain anonymous, please. Don't worry, I haven't even been reading everyone's names this whole time. I probably should have. It's basically just like his culture. In Lebanese culture, you don't really like move in with someone or have kids with someone until you're married. Love that marriage is such a big deal in that culture, and it's seen as something so sacred, and that's basically the reason why, and I actually really like it that way. I don't know, sometimes I think that I rushed into a lot of things when I was a little bit younger, and you know, once I did those things, then I'd be like, oh, I kind of miss the days when, like, you know, we were so excited to see each other and we did live together. So that's why I'm really just like enjoying our time together. And, you know, I'm not like rushing into having kids or anything, for example, because I just want to be able to travel together and enjoy our time together and really be able to say that we fully enjoyed each other's presence. We've got, you know, all the same morals and values, and we think about marriage in the same way. So getting married or engaged, for example, in the near future isn't really something that, you know, I have to think twice about or that I see an issue with, because I feel like it wouldn't really change much aside from the fact that we'd be living together, you know. I feel like when you know, you know. And yeah, we've been together, like, we started talking in June, 2 years ago this June, so it's actually gone really quick. Sorry about that. That person literally just had to park right freaking there. But someone said, guys, I literally have so many questions. I feel bad that I'm not going to be able to answer like the vast majority of them. Will you choose your ring or let James choose it? James already knows what I want, and so does his sister-in-law. Well, I call her my sister-in-law too, Remy. But yeah, they both kind of know like the vibe I want. What's your age difference? Cutest couple XX. A lot of people think James is like 35, but he's actually only 26. So we're only like 4 years apart. My birthday's in July, his birthday's in October. So it's not, it's like 3 years and like 8 months or whatever. People think he's in his 30s, probably because he has his life like so put together for someone his age. And also he's super tall and has a beard and stuff. I feel like he just looks older. But yeah, he's only actually 26. So yeah. Is your full sibling younger than you? I don't actually have a full sibling. All my siblings are half. Someone said, since you always speak so highly of James, what's one thing that he does that you don't like? Laughing face, love heart. We literally laugh about this so much, but he cannot say sorry. Like, he is actually the type of person that will only say sorry if he knows 100% for a fact that he's done something wrong. If I have an argument with someone, not that I ever really do, but if I ever do something that the other person perceives as wrong, but I might not even think it's wrong, I will just say sorry just for the sake of saying sorry. Whereas he is not like that at all. Like, he would literally, this is so funny because we always fucking laugh at this. He will not say sorry unless he 100% means it, which, you know, it could be a good thing, but I also feel like sometimes you just should say sorry just to like let something go. But in saying that, he has his ways of saying sorry without actually saying it. So do you and your man pay for everything equally, as in 50-50 for house, expenses, bills, etc.? As I mentioned before, we don't live together yet, so at the moment I obviously pay for my own place, like all my bills, everything, because I've just always done that and I don't expect him to do that, and I can do that myself. But I do know that when we live together that he will take care of all of that, and that's just how, again, it kind of works in that culture, and that's just how his family in general works. I will say now though that we don't go 50-50 in like anything that involves us two. He'll pay for like all our dinners, all our dates, literally anything that we do together, unless, you know, I'm taking him overseas for his birthday, or if I want to get him food on my own, and, you know, bring it to his work or something like that. So yeah, that's like the only time that I'll really pay when it has to do with us two. What is your biggest fear? I'd say my biggest fear would probably have to be like losing someone important to me, losing James. Probably that would be my biggest fear, I'd say. I'm gonna try out this strawberry mochi next. Oh, no, that's horrible. Oh, it's like jam in the middle, but it's literally the worst strawberry jam I've ever had. I'm sorry, but that does not look like the photo. I thought there was going to be like a little bit of cream in there too. No, that's off. Off, off, off. Don't like that. How long should a talking stage be until a guy should ask you out? I feel like it depends. After I broke up with my ex, I told myself that I would not get into a relationship again until I really felt like this person was the one and I could see myself marrying that person. So it did take us like a few months, I think, of like getting to know each other. I think at the start too, like I didn't see him as that, James, like my boyfriend now, but you know, as we got to know each other more, it just is what made sense. I think when we also started speaking, I was kind of trying to act like someone I wasn't. I was going out a lot, which I literally had just broken up with my ex, so I feel like it's like kind of normal when you're newly single to go out quite a bit, but you know, I was trying to act like I didn't care. Yeah, essentially I was trying to be someone I wasn't. Like I was trying to act like, you know, you could, like no one could hurt my feelings, that I didn't really care about James, like when we started talking. I feel like that whole kind of like facade didn't really last for very long. You know, a couple months into us speaking, he could kind of see like how sensitive and like loving and caring I am, but I'd say like when we first started talking, because I didn't really think that we'd end up together and I didn't really like see him as that, I just like was acting like someone I wasn't. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, I think you should just like wait a few months. I'd probably say like 6 months is the absolute max of like how long I would wait. Like I feel like anything after that, you're just kind of wasting your time. Probably should like start talking to other people and like getting to know other people, because yeah, I don't know, I feel like 6 months is like, surely you know by then if you want to date this person or not, you know what I mean? Are you an introvert or an extrovert? I'm very introverted in the sense that I just love being at home, being in my space, you know, cleaning around the house. I would choose sitting at home on my laptop or on TikTok on a Saturday night over going out any day of the week. But in saying that, I'm very extroverted around people that I'm comfortable with. So around all my friends, you'd think that I was like the most extroverted person ever, because I'm so loud and like making jokes, making everyone laugh, that kind of thing. I'd say as a whole, I'm definitely like more on the introverted side. Biggest lesson you've learned from romantic relationships. Anyone who's been following me, you know, since the beginning would know that I have been in long-term relationships for pretty much like my whole teenage life. I got in my first long-term relationship when I was 14. I was with him till I was 18. And then pretty much like we broke up a few times in between that. And my ex and I started dating when I was 18 until I was 20. Was I 21 when we broke up? No, I was 20, turning 21 that year. And then my current boyfriend now, James, we've been together since I was just turning 21 until now. So I really haven't had much time to be alone. Again, as I said, when I broke up with my ex, I was like, I am not getting into another I'm not getting into another relationship unless I know that this person is the one and I can see myself marrying them. You know, obviously, if it doesn't work out, like I can't predict the future, but that's what I told myself. And then all of a sudden, James just popped up. What's the biggest lesson I've learned? I think it's that not everyone is going to ever be 100% perfect. Also, you know, relationships are compromise. There's just, I think relationships are a lot more complex than people think, and I think that people tend to give up a little bit too easily on relationships sometimes, especially in this day and age. I feel like everyone just thinks that, you know, oh, this person's not doing this one little thing, let me just break up with them, I could find anyone in a minute. Which obviously this doesn't apply to anyone who's in like any sort of abusive relationship, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. But I'm talking about like little minor things. A lot of people tend to give up too easily these days, and you know, I think people just think that the grass is greener on the other side, and it's not really actually like that. That's not the reality. It's actually really hard to find people these days that are, you know, have good morals, values, know how to treat a person right, care, like there's just so much that goes into relationships rather than just physical attraction or, you know, how much money someone has, or literally all those things are so irrelevant in the long term. And yeah, that's probably like the biggest thing that I've learned in all of these relationships that I've been in. Relationships aren't perfect. No one is ever going to be perfect. You will go through ups and downs, but all that matters is who you're with, and that they care for you, and that they love you, and that they're willing to put the same effort in that you do. That's all that matters at the end of the day. My camera's out of charge, so with that being said, I feel like we've left the video on a good note. I hope you all have enjoyed watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!